So, what's the best 2020 Sony TV you can buy, or just the best Sony TV in 2020 to buy? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So, we're going to dive right in by talking about my personal favorite, the Sony A8G. Sony didn't sponsor me to say any of this stuff. This is literally just my experience. So, just try to take it with a grain of salt if you must, but I'm just going to keep it as real as possible. So I choose the Sony A8G as the best Sony OLED just simply because it has exceptional color. It's literally offering most of the things they have on the market right now at Sony's level, but they have the Legacy X1 Extreme chip, which gives me more picture options, which is huge as a professional calibrator because I like being able to switch between multiple picture modes, and the newer X1 Ultimate chip just doesn't offer that. They've taken away a good amount of picture modes that I would normally use, and so having that back is pretty decent. And for me, the picture quality is just purely exceptional and I really love it. But that's just my pick for the best OLED. Now, when we talk about Sony's LED line of televisions, things get dodgy very fast, okay? So they've been downgrading their TVs for quite a few years now, and that's no secret, right? But the thing is, if you buy anything below even the 900 series nowadays, you're really getting a really bad TV by today's standards. And that's as honest as anyone will ever tell you. See, if you buy the Sony X800, while yeah, it's at a good price point, your blacks are going to be gray, you're not going to have full array local dimming, and it's not going to have a lot of the bells and whistles you're looking for in a modern age TV in 2020. For that, I listen to me, guys. Seriously, listen to me. If you're in a budget price point and you're looking at Sony, stop. Go to Hisense and look at their quantum dot alternatives. Go to Vizio and look at their quantum dot alternatives. But don't cheap yourself out, man. Just don't do it because Sony is really dragging you down at the entry level now more than ever. And I can't recommend anything from literally like the 850H all the way down their line from that point forward. Like it's bad. Like gray blacks, light bleeding, uniformity issues. I mean, it's not beautiful. I mean, the colors are nice, the upscaling chip is there, but the overall effort put into those TVs clearly craps on low income families, and I'm not okay with it. It's dirty. It's Sony, right? They're getting greedy on us. They know their name brand is huge, and they're just trying to play on that now by putting forth a very minimal effort. So then what do we say about, TVs at the 900 series? Well, currently in June of 2020 so far, as of June 2nd, 2020, there is no Sony X950H. So I can't tell you how the 900H performs yet. But I did review the Sony X950H, and I can safely say that it does have less blooming than the Sony X950G. It has solid color, decent brightness, and good input lag. It is great for movies and it is great for sports, and overall this will be my number one pick if you're talking about what Sony LED TV should you go with in 2020, only because at the highest level, or not highest level, but larger screen sizes, you do get the X wide angle, right, which gives you better viewing angles off axis, which is important for those people who have wider seating arrangements. So it's just a better option, where on the 950G, you did have to spend a little bit more to get that. Also, because it has less blooming than the 950G, darkroom performance is better. While mildly and by like just a hair and a smidge, better is better. But the brightness was significantly better, and I think that's going to be the big takeaway. And seeing how the Sony X950H comes in multiple price ranges, because it has multiple sizes, I think this is a no-brainer for a lot of people in 2020, especially as older models get harder to find. So then what about TVs like the Sony X950G? While the Sony X950G has a more premium remote, it has bad blooming, like seriously bad blooming. It was a really uncomfortable TV in my testing. It has solid upscaling, it has hands-free voice control and great skin tones, just like the Sony X950H, but honestly, it really will make you feel like you bought a TV that is just okay at best to good. You'll want to upgrade the moment you know that there's something out there in the Sony lineup that has deeper black levels at a remotely similar price point. So let's say in 2021 next year, if they come out with a Sony that has better black levels and it's the same exact price as this, you're really going to start to feel it after the fact. Because while now in 2020, your options are limited, and this might be a decent option in 2020, never buy TVs because of the options now and what they represent today. represent future value to you as a consumer, right? So when you approach a sale, think of, will I still be happy with this TV 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Because these TVs are not going to die out as willy-nilly as people would like to think. They're long-lived, especially because they're LEDs. And with that, you have to make sure that you're buying something you're happy with. I can't stress that enough. So, it is one of the better TVs to buy, but just make sure that if you buy it, you know what you're sacrificing, right? Now, that being said, when we're talking about TVs, it's also important to note that every TV won't make the cut, and I just want to be very clear about that. Now, I recommend you buy the Sony A9G, because it has great color and it has a premium remote over the A8G, which is great, but the picture quality is less than the A8G, so that's why, as far as OLED goes, it's my second recommendation. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, hold up, wait a minute. What are we doing now? Why are we not recommending the Sony A8H and the Sony A9H? Simply put, they're more expensive and they don't offer a whole lot more picture quality wise over the A8G and A9G. Simply put, if you can find those TVs at a good deal, that is what I recommend for you guys, because that is the no-brainer. Simply put, it is easier on your wallet and you have literally the same exact picture quality, or probably better. I haven't had a chance to extensively compare or test the two, but I can simply tell you that this is going to be the outcome for most people. Also, in summary, I know a lot of people are probably wondering why not the Sony X900F or maybe an older X900E. Those TVs at this point are kind of starting to show their age a bit, particularly the Sony X900F, ironically. I would not recommend you buy one of those. Those TVs are just not holding up like they should, and the 900F was really bad for blooming. The 900E is a great TV, but color-wise, it's a little on the weak side as far as growing with content, and that's just as honest as we can be, and the brightness isn't as impressive as it should be. Now, when we talk about these TVs, it's important to take away, if you're on the fence, the Sony A8G is the best OLED that you can buy right now from Sony, and I think it is an awesome option. I do think that the second best is the A9G. You're talking about LED TVs. The X950H is better than the 950G, which will then come in at the final spot. But seriously, don't buy the 900F, and don't buy anything from the X850 or lower, because very, very, very gray black, poor quality, awful quality control, low brightness, you name it. There's a slew of problems that will just make your experience lackluster at best. So hopefully this helps you guys know what are the better Sonys to pick up. And sadly, Sony is a luxury brand. They're playing to that 100%, and you're just not going to get anything if you don't spend a lot of money with Sony. That's just their current business model. I have a reason to believe that that's because a lot of their divisions are struggling for cash right now, and they're just trying to cut corners wherever they can. Why even their newer Sony cameras that I've seen are all plastic body instead of being made out of premium metals like they used to be. So there's something happening with Sony, and there's a lot of cutbacks being made. So I really hope that by explaining that to you, that you don't think it's biased or I'm just justifying purchases or some elitist mindset where it's like, screw you for being in a lower income bracket, because trust me, it's nothing like that. But Sony really is just not what they used to be, right? And we have to address that honestly and openly, and those models that I recommended, that's going to be your best bet so far. If things do change, I'll update the information, but so far, that's where we are in 2020. Again, if you are in a low budget income bracket and you are on a severe budget or serious budget, seriously look at the Hisense Quantum Dot TVs. They did not pay me to say that. It is literally your best bet right now. If that changes, again, I will update it, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, smack a like on this video for more content like this, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.